What's up, 31 fam? How you doing? Welcome back to Horror 31. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be back doing videos over here on this channel. Can't wait till I can do a consistent 3 or 4 a week, man. That's my goal, man. I'm trying to get there. It's just a little difficult right now with all the schedule changes in my house. But either way, today I got a really good video for you. We got the top 10 horror movies on Tubi, volume 1. All right, we're gonna do multiple volumes to this. I got top 10 Shudder, top 10 Netflix, top 10 Amazon Prime, all coming as well. If there's a certain platform you'd like me to get to, or if you want to check out maybe like a top 10 on HBO or top 5 on HBO, something like that, let me know in the comments and I'll take care of it for you. I'm trying to do as much of this stuff as I can, and a lot of the viewers give me the ideas. So, but I don't want to waste too much time. I want to make these videos quick and digestible. So let's jump right in. If you do like what we do over here at the end of the video and you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up, a comment, and all that jazz. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, help us get to 1,000. That'd be awesome too. Either way, I'm glad you're here. So number 10 on the top 10 horror movies on Tubi, volume 1. Number 10 is going to be Intruder from 1989. Intruder is a movie about an overnight stock crew at a local supermarket who find themselves being stalked and slashed by a mysterious maniac. Plus, it also stars Sam Raimi in the movie, which I thought was a fun fact. Intruder has one of the better, I'm sure they didn't mean it to be comical, but to me it was, fight scenes in horror. It rivals They Live. It's not as long as the fight scene in They Live, but it's like, it starts out with like 2 dudes fighting, and then all of a sudden it ends up like, it just trickles in until you have like 5 dudes ganged up on one guy, beat the crap out of him. It's just funny. Yeah, Intruder, great movie. I really enjoyed it. I'm actually watching it right now. I wanted to watch that fight scene again, and I also I didn't remember that Sam Raimi was in it, so I wanted to go back and check it out. Number 9, Humanoids from the Deep from 1980. A fisherman and a scientist fight back when loathsome mossy sea monsters from the depths of the ocean assault women. I don't know what to tell you about this other than it's like if the creature from the Black Lagoon was made, 35, 40 years later, and it was, or I guess it wasn't that much later if it was in 1980. Anyhow, much later, and it was a whole lot more violent, a lot more graphic, and honestly, way more ridiculous. This movie is it's just fun. It's a gory, I don't know, it's a gory slop fest, dude. I love Humanoids from the Deep. It's a great movie. Great subjective. I really enjoy it. Number 8 is Silent Rage from 1982. It's the only Chuck Norris horror film. That should be enough for you. But it very much resembles the Halloween formula, but if Chuck Norris was the antagonist of the film. It's a really cool movie that I've only found out about a few years ago, and I've got an unopened VHS copy, and I was watching it on Tubi instead, so I don't have to open up my copy on VHS. Love that movie, man. My wife found it for me. Number 7, The Barn. Now, there's multiple movies called The Barn, but this one's from 2016. It's Halloween 1989. Best friends Sam and Josh are trying to enjoy what's left of their final Devil's Night Out before graduating high school. But trouble arises when 2 pals and a group of friends take a detour on their way to a rock concert, finding an old abandoned barn and awakening an evil inside. So The Barn is a tricky movie. When I first watched it, I didn't like it. I thought, man, this is kind of trashy. I thought it was very low budget, which it is, and I just didn't enjoy it. I had to read about it first, and basically what I figured out is that I didn't understand it going in. I didn't know that it was supposed to look that way. It's kind of like that WNUF Halloween special that I watched. Sometimes you just misunderstand something. And that's what happened. I misunderstood The Barn. So on second viewing, it became a literal favorite movie of mine. I watch it all the time. I got it on Blu-ray. So The Barn from 2016 is fantastic. Number 6 is one that I did not need a second viewing to know how much I liked. It's called Splinter. It's from 2008. When their plans for a nature trip go awry, Polly and her boyfriend Seth decide to check into a motel. On their way, they're carjacked and kidnapped by low-rent crooks Dennis and Lacey, who take the victims and their SUV to a nearby gas station. Along the way, they encounter an increasingly terrifying horde of parasites, and if any of them intend to survive, they'll have to outsmart the deadly organisms. So, this movie's got some familiar faces in it. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but it's like, I don't know, Splinter's the best name for this movie. It's like this parasite that looks kind of like wood, and it kind of grows, and it looks more like a porcupine or hedgehog, but it's like a parasite at the same time. It's a good monster movie, but it's very original, and it's done very well. It's definitely low budget, but you wouldn't be able to tell. They did it very good because they had to use a lot of CG for the monster, but you really can't tell. I imagine there's some practical stuff done. I haven't watched it in a while. I need to go back and check this one out. Again, I've seen it a couple times, but man, it is a good movie. It is a great film. Number 5 is Murder Party from 2007. It's exactly what it sounds like. So basically, this group of like art students decide, as a joke on Halloween, they're gonna say, they said, let's put out some flyers for a murder party, saying that you can come to our party and get murdered. And if anybody shows up, which they're more than likely not going to, they're not gonna take it seriously, we'll go through with it. And so they put out the flyers. They're at this warehouse hanging out. There's nothing going on. It's just them. They're all listening to the music, hanging out. And this like lonely guy's walking home from work, and he sees a flyer fly by in the wind, and he picks it up and he looks at it and he goes, "Oh, murder party, ha ha ha, that's pretty clever." Goes home, makes himself a costume, goes to murder party, and then exactly what you think happens. It's an insane movie, and I really like it. I don't want to tell you anything else about it. Go check it out. It's great. Number 4, Jack Frost from 1997. As notorious serial killer Jack Frost is being driven to his execution, the truck carrying the murderer encounters a bizarre accident that transforms him into a mutant snowman. Sheriff Sam Tiller, who caught the psychopath originally, has remained concerned about his return, and it seems that his fears were well founded. Before long, bodies pile up, all killed in gruesome, wintry ways. Plus, this has Shannon Elizabeth in it from American Pie, in a very revealing role. Man, I tell you what, it is good stuff. Now, Jack Frost is one of those cheesy, awesome horror movies. As a matter of fact, I keep looking over here because I've got it on Blu-ray. This movie is awesome, and this is exactly what you're getting when you watch Jack Frost. Such a good movie. Good movie. I love it. Number 3, it's actually a double threat. It's The Dentist 1 and 2 from 1996 and 1998. An insane dentist that is driven crazy by imperfection begins to murder people that annoy him. Yes, and it's very violent, very graphic, very inventive. If you have fears of dentists, this movie is going to be great to watch as a scary film. I hate dentists, and this movie scares the living crap out of me. But they're awesome. They're fun. They're from the 90s, man. They're schlocky fun. We got 2 left. Before we get there, let me give you a couple honorable mentions. I won't go too far into what these movies are about, but we've got Deathgasm. It's like a black metal. You know that movie about that band Mayhem? It's like making fun of that kind of, basically. Imagine that with like supernatural gore. It's fun. It's a good time. High Moon. It's a low budget werewolf western. It's just a lot of fun, and it's got Sean Patrick Flanery in it. So yeah, deserves to be on the list, right? And then we've got Machine Girl. It's just wacky Japanese like body horror stuff. It's just lots of fun, very gory, very violent, very gruesome. A great time, in my opinion. That leaves us with number 2, number 1. Number 2 is going to be Eden Lake from 2008. A couple on a romantic weekend break at a remote lake house. They're terrorized by a group of vicious delinquents. It stars Kelly Riley, who is just woo buddy, and Magneto himself. What's his name? Michael Fassbender's in this one. It's got some of the more brutal scenes from modern horror. And it's a very bleak, dark, violent movie. And I find it to be a more realistic horror movie. It's good, man. If you like the survival, revenge type movies, this it just gets worse and worse and worse, man. I won't tell you the ending of it, but boy, I tell you what, this is a freak, man. Oh, it's hard to watch. It's a hard to watch movie. I like it. I'm like, it's hard to watch. I like it. Number 1. For Volume 1, this one goes in the number 1 slot. Anybody that knows me is not going to be at all surprised. We got Terrifier from 2016. A maniacal clown terrorizes 3 young women and anyone else in his way on Halloween night. This one stars David Howard Thornton, who coincidentally I just talked to on my phone, as Art the Clown. And it is my favorite horror movie that's come out in a very, very long time. I'd say 20 to 25 years, maybe ever. It's definitely my first or second favorite horror movie, period. It's just a great throwback to 1980s horror. It's just violent, gory. Some of it doesn't even make sense, man. It's just so good. Everything about it is so good. For what they had as far as a budget's concerned, and actors that had little experience. They had some experience, but they weren't like, these aren't like super seasoned actors. These people knocked it out the park. And Damien Leone, the director, this dude's got something special with this character, man. I'm telling you. He also did one on All Hallows Eve, which featured Art the Clown in it, and then Terrifier 2 is supposed to come out this October. So, but if you like slasher films that are over the top, very, very violent and very gory, this is a perfect film for you. Art the Clown scared the crap out of me, so this one right here is right up my alley. But yeah, that's my list. Top 10 horror movies on Tubi, Volume 1. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some ideas for some movies you haven't seen, or maybe it reminded you of some stuff you had seen that you really like. Either way, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you checked out Tubi, what movies on there are you checking out? Which ones are you seeing? What should be on my next list? Give me some ideas for Volume 2, because we're going to do it as fast as I can. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Be kind to yourself, everybody, and be kind to somebody else, okay? They deserve it. So do you. All right, have a nice day. We'll see you soon. Peace.